Hey everybody, so I have a very important question for you. What comes to mind when you think of a high performance vehicle? What comes to mind when you think of a BMW? They're known for having the ultimate driving machine. In their repertoire, there are several models that may come to mind. We've got our coupes, we've got our sedans, we've got our SAVs, M2s, M3s, M4, M5, M6s, competition series. What about an ultimate high performance SUV? On today's episode, we have, and we're so excited to be able to share this with you guys, the 2025 XM. All right, guys, so yeah, we've got the 2025 BMW XM on our episode today. Again, we're super excited to be able to review a vehicle of this stature, and have to give a big shout out to BMW of Loveland here in Loveland, Colorado, for allowing us the opportunity to film this magnificent vehicle today. So we're super stoked about that. Just a few things, you know, BMW has all their series, right? Like the 2 Series, 3 Series, all that stuff. They've, in the last few years, kind of changed the monikers, I guess, a little bit to the 2, the 3, the 4, things of that nature. I just want to call this the 10. I mean, X is 10, right? So here, the 10 series.
That reminds me of when the iPhone jumped from 9 to the X and people weren't sure what to call it.
Right.
Is it the iPhone 10 or is it the X?
Yes, yes. But yeah, so we've got the XM. So this is a really cool high performance SUV. Wow, I mean, I don't know why you would need such a high performance SUV, but hey, different types of vehicles for different types of people, different purposes, right?
This is America.
This is America, and we get what we want when we want it.
Exactly. XS is the name of the game.
That's right, absolutely. So, but yeah, let's jump in here. So let's do our walk around. We'll take a look at the exterior of this vehicle and just point out some features and some things like that. I will say BMW, for me, I always love their blues. So nice. This is the Marina Bay Blue Metallic. Pops, and against the black, of course. You know, you guys know that I love my black trim. I'm always a fan of that. Pops against that black trim. We've got LED headlights on the front and LED taillights in the rear. Again, there's that slender, sleek design, just kind of that peekaboo it's giving you right from under the hood. If you see this guy coming up in your rearview mirror, you better watch out.
For real. It is very menacing.
It is very menacing.
It's very intimidating.
Yes.
I like it for the most part. It has a lot. It shares a lot with like the X7 and the 7 Series sedan. As far as like the front styling of it goes.
The front fascia, yeah.
I like that the kidney grills are horizontal. Love that.
Yes.
But they're also bigger.
They are.
You would see on a normal BMW.
Yeah, they are a lot bigger. But we do know, even though this is a little different than your original or even early 2000s, mid 2000s, early 2020s kidney grill design, we still know this is a BMW kidney grill.
Yeah.
It's not too far gone.
It's undeniable.
It's undeniable. They've kept with the history of it here, which is really cool. And also, another neat feature, a lot of manufacturers are moving towards this, is this illumination in the front. So we do have, okay, if you want to maybe get up close to this a little bit, illumination, there's a light ring around each of the kidney grills. So we've got illuminated kidney grills, which is very cool, especially at night. That's really going to pop, just more light, more visibility. Again, I think a lot of this really just centers around not only looks, adding some style to the vehicle, but they're really just thinking about safety.
Right.
You know, the more visibility that we can have on the road, the more fun we can have driving and the safer we can be, right? So I'm a fan.
If you don't hear it coming, you're definitely going to
see it, yes. Because, yeah, in today's age of distraction, so I'm a big fan of that. I like the
Yeah,
way they did it.
100. I totally agree. And I also like the separation of the headlights and the tail or the headlights and the daytime running lights.
Yes. Yep.
And I love the frosted glass look that they have for the DRLs.
Right.
It's really cool.
Absolutely.
And many companies have tried that, and it's always kind of fell short for me. Especially if you look at something like the Buick, I think it's the Enclave, or Invista, one of those. It has a similar style, like separated headlights and daytime running lights. That and the daytime running lights are frosted, but I think the execution on this is spot on.
Yes.
You can tell the designers took a lot of time.
Yes.
On the something like the Buick, it's just like, what were you thinking? You know what I mean? It's like, you're not there. Don't do
right. Yeah. Don't do that yet.
you're not ready to play music.
Yeah. It's not meant for you yet. But it overall, the front of this vehicle, it's mean, it's bad, it's big, it makes a very bold statement.
Yeah. And then really quick, I have to point out, speaking of bold statements,
yep.
I love how there are two humps on the hood here.
Yes.
Gives it very aggressive and menacing and sinister look. It looks like two giant nostrils, you know, like of a bull or something.
Absolutely. And here is the nostril openings here for the nose. To breathe it in, man. Breathe it in, breathe it out, and coming at you, coming right up on your butt, you know? Yeah, it just looks really sleek. This is a very, very sick looking vehicle. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. I think the styling team did a great job on this. It looks really amazing.
Yep.
So as we come around over here on the side, take a look at these massive wheels. Massive. Big honking M Performance brake calipers. These are sitting on 23s. 23s, man.
Jeez. Staggered
performance tires. In the front, they're 275/35. And then in the rear, we've got 315/30 in the rear and 275/35s in the front.
Wow.
Either way, you're probably going to burn through these tires really quickly. And that's probably going to cost a lot of money.
I mean, these tires can handle it. I mean, they're Pirelli P0s.
Yes, they can handle it.
They can handle it.
They are performance tires, but I think still, you know, more on the low profile side as well.
For sure.
Because you can feel, we did a little driving before. I just had to go run and get some gas for El vehicle, but you can feel the nuances in the road, which for me as a driver, I don't mind. I don't mind feeling that. For a performance SUV of this stature, it kind of almost feels like you're in a truck a little bit.
I mean, that's kind of what you need, though. Like, in a performance vehicle, you want to be able to tell what's underneath you. You want to be able to tell what the tires are doing at all times. So for me, it's not a deal breaker, and it doesn't affect the ride too much. Like, it's still very compliant, very quiet and hushed on the inside.
Yes. So. And it still handles really well. So the things that we come to expect and know from BMW. So they definitely dialed it in for sure. Yeah. But yeah, again, just big, massive wheels, 23-inch wheels, insanely large tires. So scoop on down the side. We've got this beautiful XM badging with the gold trim around it. I love that. Again, against the black, makes it pop. On our door handles here, we have a black inlay, and it's kind of like, I guess you want to say maybe a diamond texture, diamond shape, which is nice. So that adds a little bit of class to it. It's just not a flat black.
Yeah. For me, okay, there's going to be a lot to talk about on this one, so it might be a longer video. Just warning you guys now. It's the attention to detail. First off, I want to talk about this because I think this line here is probably one of the most polarizing statements on the vehicle. I'm still not sure I like it. Hasn't grown on me yet. I will say it does look better in the black than it does on the gold that you can get on if you option it, you know, however you want. Yeah. It looks better in the black for me. I just don't know how necessary it is. This car for me, it's like they're trying to mix, let's say, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan or a Bentley Bentayga and a Lamborghini Urus. You know what I mean? It's trying to be the best of both worlds. So yeah, ultra luxury and high performance. Yeah. And so for me, that's just a little much. Yes. I think with the the handles that T was just mentioning, that I could do without, not necessary. But speaking of BMW's attention to detail on the mirrors, you've got this kind of aerodynamic, I guess you could call it, detail on the mirrors, and it kind of mimics that same thing on the door handles.
On the door
I don't
handles.
know how functional that is,
Right.
but it just,
maybe just a styling choice.
Just styling choice,
Right.
attention to detail, which BMW is known for. So.
But I do get your point. Like, are we melding different types of vehicles together, or is this supposed to be a high performance SUV? Like, which one is it? Do we want a luxury vehicle, or we want, you know, like you said, the Bentley or the Lamborghini or the whatever of everything melded together?
Right.
You know, you can't really be both. So yes, we have obviously luxury and performance, but maybe ultimate high performance stick more with the performance styling. Maybe not blend in so much of the luxury styling, at least on the exterior.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Choices. It's all good.
It's all subjective anyway.
It is. I mean? It's true. I think it looks good.
With me.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
So we make our way to the back. So this is what's so great, guys, about doing this. Like, you know, we plan a little bit for our video, but when we start filming, almost anything kind of goes. We take cuts here and there. So as I was saying, you know, we take cuts here and there when we're out here filming. But just as we were talking about the side profile of the vehicle, there was a bird. I don't know if you guys saw it fly off, but there was a bird sitting over here, landed right on top of the wiper, took a crap on the back of the tailgate. Our beautiful clean car now is marred by bird poo. So if you see this in the shot, just know that literally just happened.
I'll try not to get it in there. Don't think there's a need to zoom in on it. So.
Right. But that's what happens when you're out in the wilds.
That's what happens.
That's what happens in northern Colorado. Wildlife, nature just pops right up on you.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to it. So, I also just want to note, I made a little blip earlier with the name of the paint color because it was still early and I'm not really fully awake yet. So it's Marina Bay Blue Metallic. So sorry if I said Mariana. I don't know where I got that from, but anyway, Marina Bay Blue. But yeah, so back at it. We've got our tail lights here again. These are LEDs. I have to say, I love the style of these. Do you notice our M badge here, essentially?
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to point that out.
Yep.
I mean, it's the attention to
the detail.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, of course they put that. That's what you can expect from BMW.
That's what you can expect.
So, and I do have to say, I love, these are the best looking taillights in the game.
Oh yeah, I agree. They look like the back of the vehicle is raising an eyebrow at you just to say, hey, you might want to not get too close.
Yeah. Like, what up, buddy?
Yeah, hold up. Don't get too close to me. Watch out.
And I know there's plenty more to get to here, but I just want to say this part of the vehicle, to me, the front says luxury, opulence.
Sure. Yes.
And to me, the rear of the vehicle screams supercar. Like, yeah, supercar, especially with the quad vertical stacked exhaust.
Yes.
Like, where else do you see that? It reminds me of like the old ISF, Lexus ISF, GSF. Just stunning. Yeah.
I think the back of this is beautiful. Yeah. It looks so good. There's like two different things happening. Yeah. Opposing forces are occurring right now.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, what are you?
Yes. What even are you?
But I guess that's what they want. Like, BMW wanted this to be, you know, like people to think of this as like a piece of jewelry. You know what I mean? Like, it's something extremely special. But I think they nailed it when it comes to the rear of the vehicle. The only exception would be the tiny little spoiler that you get.
But again, I think it's all aerodynamics, right? If we take a wider view of the vehicle at the side profile, and just again imagine this in the wind tunnel, imagine that air flowing over the top, coming to the back, flowing under it, and swooping out the back. I think it's just all aerodynamics. I am actually a fan of the smaller spoiler on this, particularly because you would have more limited visibility, I think, out of the rear window.
Those are both very valid points.
Oh, thank you. But I hear a but coming.
Aesthetically, for me, it doesn't work.
I understand.
And I don't think this, like they have the BMW emblem
Mm-hmm.
painted onto the rear window.
Yep, both sides.
Not a fan of that. I think it looks kind of tacked on and like an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would have been cool, like you're a BMW, say it loud and proud, put it right there where it belongs. Or just don't put anything. You know?
Well,
those are my thoughts.
They did go more minimal and just did another XM badge in the back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is more minimal.
Yeah.
On the tailgate, but yeah, traditionally, would there be BMW emblem on the back of a tailgate? Absolutely. Right?
Yeah. Those are just, like I said, my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been really cool, especially in this Marina Blue.
Thank you. Rub it in. Hey, it happens. Sometimes your brain doesn't work as well in the morning, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I think it would look really cool to have that, like the traditional M colors.
Oh,
especially with this,
yeah,
this blue.
I do agree.
I think it would have popped a lot more.
Yeah.
It would have been a stunner.
Yep.
But
yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, man. But overall, design-wise, overall for this vehicle, I think it looks amazing. At first, when I saw one, I wasn't sure what really to expect or kind of what I was feeling. But the more time that I spend with it, I do see the appeal.
Yeah. I don't know about that. For me, it's if I was choosing between a Lamborghini Urus and this, basing it purely on looks, I would go with the Urus.
Yeah, and that's where me and you have to disagree because you know I do not like the Urus.
Yeah.
I do not. I would pick this over that.
Yeah.
But each has their own place.
For sure.
So, I mean, neither one of them no one can really say that one is better than the other. They both have pros and cons, right? So it always comes down to a personal preference
for sure.
at the end of the day. But I do like the look of this a lot more than the Lamborghini when it comes to that.
Gotcha.
So I think we should take a look and see what's going on under the hood of this beast.
Yeah, my favorite part.
Because I think we didn't mention that there was another little surprise about this car.
Yeah.
Or this SUV, I should say.
You may know. You may not know.
You may know. You may not know, but we're going to tell you. All right, guys. So we're going to take a look under the hood and see what this baby's got going on under here.
Let's do it. Oh, yeah. You know they're serious when it's red.
Yeah.
Red and carbon fiber, forget about it.
Yeah, that is a really cool engine cover. Of course, the M badge here on the top, M power across down the center. That is really, really, really cool.
Yeah. Look at all the bracing that you have here for extra stability. This thing is serious business. Serious business.
They are not playing with this at all. And then we've got all the space here for your cooling. The radiator, I assume, would be under here, and maybe a crash buffer as well, probably.
Some bracing in there.
Yep, some bracing in there. So there's a lot of space here before you even get to what's going on back here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot going on in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dive into this real quick here. So we've got 4.4 liter V8. I think it's a 32 valve motor. Horsepower and torque. Okay.
So it's a stunner. This is the most powerful BMW motor that BMW has ever created.
Yes.
That was a hot mess.
It's okay.
But yeah, 644 horsepower. 644 horsepower.
Yeah.
A full-size SUV.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, and 590 pound-feet of torque to go with it.
Yes.
So, I mean, this thing hauls.
It hauls. Also, there is another version of this vehicle, which we obviously don't have today because we don't really need two of them. But there is one that has even more power.
Insane.
It's the XM label. That 738 horsepower at 738 pound-feet of torque.
Wow.
What the crap?
Somebody over at BMW snapped. Somebody's like, I don't care.
I don't care. Throw caution to the wind.
Yeah. Signing off on everything.
Everything. Street race capability, let's go.
Right. And I want to point out, you guys might see this here. You might notice some orange tubing there.
This is the surprise, in case you didn't know.
So, for those of you who don't know how many of you there are, but this also is a mild hybrid.
Well, yes, it's a plug-in hybrid to be exact. So there is a high performance electric motor for this vehicle that helps us get more of that torque, more of that punch. So this is not only a V8, which we all know and love, it is also a plug-in hybrid. Who needs a V8 and a hybrid?
Yeah,
how does that
work? Talk about an oxymoron. And like there was a time where the thought of a V8 hybrid wasn't on anybody's mind.
Not at all.
You know?
That's like, how does that make sense? It's like, make it make sense.
Right.
But here it is. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy to think about, but I mean, the performance numbers back it up.
Back it up. So. Yep. Yep. I think
it's not your grandma's hybrid.
No, not your grandma's hybrid. That's for sure. But grandma could like this hybrid.
She might be the only one that can afford it these days.
But you know, I think where advancements have gone with automotive, with technology, with energy, I think a lot of people are seeing the benefits and the power that these batteries, these electric motors can produce solely on their own.
Yes.
So why not enhance a gas motor? Yes. Why not make it better?
I mean, there's a reason that BMW is the benchmark for so many different companies, and it's because they innovate and they're always coming up with something new.
Yeah, very innovative. You said the word, innovative. So yes.
It's not surprising that BMW would be the brand to make it happen.
Yeah.
It's just, it still boggles the mind that it exists.
And with that XM label, the 0 to 60 is about 3.6 seconds. So I would assume this is probably just under 4, or maybe a little bit over 4.
So from everything that I've seen, it's about 4.1 seconds.
Yeah, so it's 0 to 60 still pretty dang quick.
With a 6,000 pound curb weight.
Whoo!
So
yeah, baby.
This thing is an earth mover.
It is. It is. And when we get ready to go towards the interior, we didn't show you this on our walk around because we wanted to keep it the surprise. We'll just show where the plug-in is on the exterior here by the driver door.
For sure.
Before we get in the vehicle. But yeah, so basically when you start this guy, battery is fully charged. You're obviously starting on the electric motor, right? Because it's a hybrid. When that depletes and the gas motor turns on, you'll hear your exhaust, all that sounds so nice. But if you ever want to just throw it in sport mode, sport plus, then that will activate your motor and you'll get your exhaust notes, and that exhaust sounds mean.
It's a V8 and it sounds
it's a
like
V8.
one for sure.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, you know, BMW, I still question some choices. Hybrid V8, but you know, I think once you get in one of these and you drive it, you'll see why. It's not even gonna ring anything to your mind to even question it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncompromising. BMW didn't compromise one bit.
Right.
As far as their driving dynamics, what they're known for is still here.
It's still here. Absolutely. So another little nod to fuel efficiency, saving the planet, being thoughtful, but still being a high performance vehicle right here.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anything else you want to add?
I got nothing. I'm ready to jump on the
all right
inside and show you guys around that.
Yeah, because there's a lot. All right, guys. We'll see you on the inside. Nice.
All right, guys. So before we go ahead and jump on the interior, I want to talk a little bit about the cargo space. There are some things to note. As you can see, it's pretty spacious. I believe it's 18 cubic feet with the seats up. With them folded, it's about 64 cubic feet of storage space, which is pretty awesome. It just shows that it is still a utility vehicle. You can still haul a little bunch of stuff if there's just 2 passengers or, you know, whatever. A major thing to note here is that because the hybrid power battery pack, is here, there is no underfloor storage. This does not open. You cannot access it. So that does kind of limit your storage there as well. So just something to keep in mind. You do, when you spring for a $160,000 SUV, get this really cool carry-on bag. It feels really good. It's got some leather on it. It's canvas, it feels like. But, you know, kind of show off to the plebeians that you got it like that.
And that should have the your plug-in for your hybrid system to plug into the wall, your power cord.
Yes,
What I'm trying to say.
So,
Jeez.
yes. So kind of a mix-use bag,
Yep.
but it does store the power cord.
Yep.
And then you do have access to, not you, but mechanics and whoever technicians have access there.
Yep, and your tow hook is in there as well. Yep.
Yes, correct. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. Obviously, there are 2 controls on the latch here. One to just close the hood, and then one to close and lock it, which is really cool. One-touch operation there. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then, as T mentioned before, here is the power port for the hybrid, for the battery. So plugging in at home, it's ready to go by the time you wake up in the morning. Really cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on inside. Traditional style door handle, they do pull out, so actually it's just like what you're familiar with. A lot of vehicles, especially at this price range, and hybrids have the electronic door handles where there's just like a little actuator button on the back that unlatches it, but you just pull the handle and it opens. So yep, you've got the I don't remember what they call this black, but it's the black leather interior.
It is called the Black Extended Merino Leather.
There you go. Beautifully designed. Again, like this designers on this vehicle like killed it. You've got the Bowers and Wilkins stereo system with the metal speaker grills, which is really cool. Really high quality materials on the doors, on the door handles. I mean, it all feels like what you'd expect. Metal door handle, which is not something you see a lot these days. 2-person memory, and then this is how you can access your massaging seats.
Yes. Gotta have massaging seats for sure.
Yes. But yeah, I'll go ahead and jump on in and show you guys around. All right, so here we are on the interior of the vehicle. So let's talk about the steering wheel. It's a good looking steering wheel. To me, this is the deciding factor on whether it's a luxury car or a performance car. This screams performance. You've got, it's leather wrapped, it's nicely bolstered, it feels really good in the hands, nice supple leather on there. You've got carbon fiber paddle shifters with your M1 and M2 sport buttons here in red. But yeah, there's nothing about this steering wheel that screams luxury other than it being like maybe a high-end luxury car. In order for it to feel more luxurious for me, you would have to do something like what, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Genesis did with I think it's the GV80. Their steering wheel in that is beautiful. Like the leather matches the rest of the interior. It's got a nice shape to it. The buttons look really nice. The layout's really good. So something like that would make more sense if this were supposed to be like a high-end luxury vehicle. This to me just says, this for me makes the determination that it's a supercar sports vehicle.
Performance vehicle.
Yep. But I mean, some people could care less. I just think if performance is your thing and you live in that world, that's something that you would notice. And then you've got your speaker grills up here, which is really cool. Some storage. You've got your head-up display. BMW has, I think, one of the best heads-up displays in the business. Tons of information available to you at all times. I don't know. I can't say enough good about it. Obviously, power adjusting seats, massaging, like I mentioned, heated and cooled, heated steering wheel. BMWs never cease to impress, and they age really well. So,
yeah, this is a super nice interior. I love these sports style seats. The bolsters just really hug you when you get in there. It's like you just fall right into the seat.
yeah.
So that's really nice. So when they're bringing the luxury and they're bringing in the performance, I mean, you can kind of see the two mixing together with some of their styling choices, right? Sure. Because we've got, again, nice leather seats, but we've got sport performance seats, right? But they're not like overly aggressive sport performance seats. You're still comfortable. but they give you that nice sporty feel if you want to feel like you want to go fast.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned a second ago, the bolstering is on point, and the steering wheel, like you start driving, the steering wheel like uh, squeezes you, like it really hold you in place, like it knows you're about to go
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
So that's really cool. And it is a BMW. It is luxurious. I'm just thinking of like comparing it to like a Rolls Royce Cullinan or Bentley Bentayga. It's missing a few things. This to me is more in line with a Urus or Aston Martin DBX or something along those lines.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, this is still they still want this to exude luxury, right? They still want this to exude a six-figure car, but they also wanted to have that ruggedness of the sport, the ruggedness of the performance. They want to give you that feel that you're in a race vehicle. They still want to bring that heritage into the design.
For sure.
So overall, it's still a performance vehicle, even though it is ridiculously expensive. They're not going to go all out extra luxurious, kind of like you said, with the diamond controls and everything like that. You know, I think that would have been a little weird.
Yeah.
That would have been a little too much. So they just bring some of those touches here and there, but at its core, it's still a performance SUV.
Yeah, I mean, it is an M car. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. So that's, I do wish though, as far as the steering wheel, you know, their new designs, they've got their, as we've come to learn, our squircles. I do wish that this was the squircle style steering wheel though, instead of the round standard style steering wheel. But it's still a nice steering wheel nonetheless.
Yeah, and I guess that was my point. Like it feels like every other BMW.
Right.
But it doesn't cost as much as every other BMW.
Right.
You know what
so
I mean?
Give us that little extra.
Exactly. Take it a step further.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely. I got you.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Totally valid.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got the Bowers and Wilkins in here. I think you mentioned that already. Yep. 20 speakers. I want to say it outputs about 1475 watts of power. Wow. So it could probably blow your ears out in this car if you turn up the volume really loud.
I mean, especially considering how well insulated this car is. Like, it sounds stunning. And then, I mean, you would have to, show some willpower, control yourself a little bit, not blow your eardrums out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would ever maximize total use of that sound system, to be honest with you, because you're right, it's so quiet in here that you really only have to have your volume turned up, just the minutia, basically. Right, you know what I mean? You're not even going to be half power.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of cool features, a lot of still some simplistic features.
Yeah,
but it's nice.
Yeah, I love the Alcantara on the ceiling. It's feels really good.
Yep.
I did see a model that has like this very luxurious looking brown Alcantara Alcantara on the top. I mean, it was a showstopper for me. It was beautiful.
Okay. I'm always a fan of the black, but the brown, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
So I guess it really just goes, however you option it, you can have it feel one way or another. Because I feel like the brown would definitely step it up in the luxurious department.
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's nicely designed. I am missing the really cool light bar that you get in like the 5 Series. That would have been a really cool touch to put on a vehicle like this.
But we do have, just in the kind of like the anodized gray, yep, there's a lighting strip throughout the vehicle.
Yeah, you
so that follows the lines.
Yeah, you definitely do still get ambient lighting, plenty of it. It's on the doors, it's on the vents, it's here, it's in the center console here, it's everywhere. It's really cool. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah, we got it.
There on where the sunroof would be. This doesn't actually have a sunroof. It's got this really cool diamond textured pattern here, which is really cool. And when you unlock it, we didn't pick this up, but when you unlock it, it sweeps with the M colors across there, which is really cool. I don't like, if you're not on the inside, you're not going to notice it. So kind of weird that that's there. All right, so yeah, you've got carbon fiber pretty much throughout the entire console area, and behind the gauges, around the gauges, which is really cool. You've got 2 screens here with BMW's latest iDrive system. I personally like it. I've never really had any complaints about their iDrive system. It's really cool. It's touchscreen, and you can use the little dial there. So you've got options, and I love the widgets. I mean, it's like screens for days. You can just keep going and going, and it's extremely responsive. Haven't noticed a single bit of lag the entire time we've been in here. And like you can even add other widgets, so plenty to mess around with in here. You've got really high quality vent controls here, which is nice that it's not integrated in the screen. You actually have physical controls for that. They are plastic, not super high quality, I would say. That's pretty much it. You do have two cup holders down here. They are heated and cooled, which is a really nice touch. I don't think we've been in a vehicle that has had that before.
No, and I don't know how well those actually work. So it would be cool to maybe spend a few days with something like this to see, especially on a day like today where it's getting warm.
Yeah.
How cool does it actually keep your drink, or in the wintertime or cooler times, how hot does it keep your drink?
Right.
But that's a nice touch. At least that's something you have there. So that's kind of neat.
Yep. It's kind of odd. You have a standard USB port here. It's not a USB Type C, which is odd to see in a car that's a 2025. We do have our wireless charger in here as well. This does close to give you like full carbon fiber look. It, I mean, this car is $160,000. This particular one, as tested, $163,000. I feel like this leaves a lot to be desired. It sounds kind of inexpensive. It's kind of difficult to operate. But yeah, kind of an oversight there, I think. And then I do appreciate that the gear shifter is leather and metal. I've never really been a fan of the like jeweled ones that they put in some BMWs.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's kind of like getting back to basics, even though it's still electronic. But you've got a myriad of controls here. I mean, pretty much anything you need quick access to, you can get to here. So you can do your media. If you've ever owned a BMW, this would all be very familiar to you. I have I've been driving a 2014 5 Series BMW, and it's like identical. Aside from the type of buttons, they're all touch sensitive controls there. But yeah, you've got your setup, M mode, M hybrid mode. You can control your exhaust, hill descent control, your parking brake electronic, obviously, and your auto hold. Yeah, that's all I got for you in the front. You can hop in the back and see what that's about.
Sounds good.
All right, so stepping back here into the back seat, you've got same high quality materials that you get in the front. Like, they did not skimp at all. So it's all metal, all leather. Really cool. You do get some pretty deep storage in the doors, which is really impressive. I mean, it's cool that it's not like just down here on most doors, which makes it kind of hard to get into while you're sitting in the seat. So it's kind of nice when the door is closed, you can still access the storage pretty easily. And it goes all the way back here. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. Never seen that on a door before. Typical BMW rear seat pockets. You got little compartment there. You can attach a tablet for your rear seat passengers. Maybe you are the rear seat passenger and you're being driven. You've got your rear seat HVAC controls here. You got your heated seats. No cold seats in this particular model. I don't know if that's an option or not, but I have not seen it in an XM. You've got some storage here, 12 volts, and then a couple of USB-C ports back here. So really nice. Very well appointed. The seats are extremely comfortable. I see what you were talking about, T. Very, very, very comfortable, and I think big enough for 3 people to sit pretty comfortably. The middle hump is not too intrusive, so I think middle passenger for short distances will be just fine. Not a lot to do. You don't get you don't get an armrest or anything like that, but it's really cool. I like it. Very comfortable, and I do like how on the door handle, T could probably pick it up. This pattern that's on the door transitions to the back, so it almost feels like you're sitting in a first class seat on an airplane, which is really cool.
Yeah, the back seat is really comfortable.
Yeah, because normally on most vehicles, this would just be a gap between the door and the seat, but they built that in here.
It wraps you in.
It wraps you in. It makes it nice and comfortable.
It's like a big comfy couch.
Yeah, exactly. That I've heard others refer to it as a couch, and that's exactly what I would say.
Nice.
It feels like a couch.
Nice. And you do have the pull out as usual in that middle seat if you have 4 people sitting in here, so you can have your cup holders or whatnot.
Yes.
Armrest, yep.
There's no pass through in here. Some SUVs offer that. This one does not. No, not a big deal. Most people won't use it. So.
Yep.
And then you've got speaker grills back here. You've got obviously your rear seat lighting controls there. But yeah, it's very well appointed. It's very comfortable. I could see a family being very comfortable in here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, but that pretty much wraps it up for the interior of the 2025 X6, or sorry, XM.
The 10.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like it. The interior wins me over, I think, more so than the exterior. So
fair. I can understand that because again, it is comfortable. It's luxurious. Material is soft. It wraps you in. You feel like you are inside of a spaceship. Like this is your cockpit. You're ready to launch. So it is very nice. Again, they did a great job overall, I think, with this vehicle. And just like you said, maybe there are some things just for the price point where maybe they skimped a little bit. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's the XM.
And somebody's going to buy it.
Somebody's going to buy
happy,
it. So. And they're going to be happy. Yep. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, we will go on and get ready for the next part.
Take it for a quick
drive. Take it for a little quick drive up the frontage road here and see how it handles. So we'll see you guys on the road here soon. Guy out on the road. I love this when it starts up and you get the gong.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so cool. Feel like I'm about ready to launch or something. I'm going to go ahead and put this in drive. I am actually going to turn the AC back on because it is toasty. Get us some fan.
And I didn't mention earlier, those HVAC controls that you see there are stationary. So no matter what screen you're on, they're always going to be there, which makes quick access to, which is really nice.
Yes.
Considering everything else is integrated into the
screen.
Yep.
Yep. So we got access for our seats, so cooled seats, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then the passenger has their controls there as well. All right. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
When it's this silent inside, it's hard to believe that you're in a 644 horsepower beast.
Mm-hmm. So the ride is comfortable. Like I said, you definitely feel all the nuances in the road, which for me I like because I like feeling, the material, I guess, that I'm driving on the road beneath the wheels, and I feel like, I know what I'm touching. I like that kind of amplifies up through the chassis of the vehicle, so that's really nice for me. Some people may not like that. This kind of reminds me of driving in my truck, quite honestly, but it's still like smooth in a weird way. But yet I know that there's a beast ready, waiting to be unleashed under it,
With great power.
Yes.
Ooh, Corvette.
Yep. Very nice.
I've always wanted a little red Corvette.
Yeah. Still think my car's cooler right now. So yeah, we're not going to obviously push this guy too hard because there is a break-in period, so we're not going to do anything like that. Obviously just going to be very respectful of other people's inventory because this is not my vehicle. But we're just going to just cruise up and down this frontage road here, and then I will put it in sport mode. Hopefully maybe the exhaust notes might pop through on the interior so we can hear it. I don't know, but we'll find out. But Kaya, anything you notice sitting in the back seat, feel free to talk about that
Yeah, for sure.
and everything. So
Off the bat, I will say I am longing for like a little more stability back here. Like I feel like if you have backseat passengers and you're driving a little more spiritedly, it would be jarring and uncomfortable. Like I could see people bumping their heads into each other, stuff like that happening. So that's a little disconcerting, but a little concerning. But other than that, it's very comfortable. Obviously, I'm set up in the middle seat. Um, spread eagle.
Yep. And again, we are in hybrid mode. The battery is probably about 80% charged, I would say, right now, or somewhere between 80 and 90, or maybe even 90 to 100. But anyway, so the vehicle is in hybrid mode. So we don't have any exhaust notes or anything like that going on right now, unless I put it over into sport mode. Which, of course, as we know, that would also cause us to use a lot of fuel.
Is there any regenerative braking on this?
With most vehicles. All right, guys, so we were back from our road test. That was a fun drive, very exhilarating. Although I do wish I could have opened it up a little bit more, because there is a lot of power under here. But just that little bit that we got, I can see the thrill that someone could have with this.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has all the BMW things, everything that you've come to love about BMWs here, which I can appreciate. From the back seat, it seemed the driving dynamics were there. It was very quiet and serene. It was nice that you could hear the burbles and the cracks and the downshifting and all those things, which is really cool, considering it's a hybrid.
Yes.
But from where I was sitting, it was awesome. Still, as far as the styling goes, I'm not there. I'm just not. I want to be. I want to love it. I love BMW. I want to love it. I'm not there.
I was curious when I heard about this XM coming out, the 10. I was curious about what it was going to look like. When I first saw it, I was like, is it an SUV? It just looks like, I'm just still getting these major truck vibes from it, right? But when you look at it as a whole, you drive it, you experience it, I actually don't mind the body style of this. I actually kind of like it. It fits with what it is. It's the ultimate performance SUV. 160K plus vehicle, right? I think it's pretty sleek.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to love about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's different from some things that BMW's done in the past. So I do like that.
There's definitely nothing like it on the road.
Right, exactly. So when you see one, you know exactly what it is. Right. Super cool vehicle. But yeah, like, I will give this 2 thumbs up. That's just gonna be my final impression of this vehicle. If I could own one, I would. If I had the means to do so, I would probably get one. I'd probably still prefer an M2 because for me, for performance stuff, I like the smaller vehicles, smaller cars. But I can see the appeal for a bigger SUV for people that may want to carry friends or maybe their family. They just like SUVs, but they want something that's fun to drive. It's not bogged down. Then this can fit that mold.
Yeah, I think for me, if I'm going to spend this kind of money, I'm going to get what I really want, and that would be Range Rover Sport, SVR Autobiography, something like that. PHEV.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you guys know this, but it shares a motor with the BMW. So that's probably the route that I would go if I'm going to spend this kind of money. Because to me, that is a better mesh of both worlds.
You get your luxury and you get your performance.
Exactly.
Where you don't get something that's more performance, but maybe lacking on some of the luxury features like we discussed earlier.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Got you. Understood. But it's all about Empower, baby. And Empower is just balls to the walls. Yeah. I'm on a racetrack. Let's go. Yeah. Let's burn the rubber. Yeah. Forget the luxury part. We want what's under here.
That's fair, but that's not only what you're paying for. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we all know what we're paying for. It's a BMW, baby. Right. So we know what we're paying for. But you ride in style, right?
Sure.
So you have to. I think they did a pretty good job of blending both of those things with what they could do, because you don't want to make it too Frankenstein. So in my book, I like it. It passes. But yeah, tell us, guys, what do you guys think? Would you buy one? Do you like this vehicle? What do you think of the XM? Is it a flop for BMW? Should they revisit this and go back to the drawing board? What do you guys think? Let us know in your comments below. This vehicle is available at BMW of Loveland. They have a couple models here that are available. So if anyone happens to be in the market, friend or family or whomever, and you've been looking for one, hit us up. Our email is linked below. And just mention hashtag TKNOCO Auto Talk. And then, yeah, we'd be happy to reach out to you to see about getting you into one of these bad boys if this is something that you're looking for.
100%. And I'll also just mention BMW of Loveland. They're also a great source for any certified pre-owned vehicles that you might be in the market for. Huge selection of pre-owned vehicles if that's what you're looking for. So I suggest checking them out.
Yep, absolutely. Hit them up. Loveland, Colorado, just off I-25 and Crossroads Boulevard. BMW of Loveland. They also have a Mini Cooper store as well, Mini of Loveland. So hopefully we can do a Mini one day soon too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because we gotta dive into some of those new designs and choices for Mini.
Yeah, a lot of good things going on in the car world right now.
Absolutely. Well, guys, until next time, we'll catch you on the road.